You know what's unfair? Constantly getting dragged into momentous conflicts by various monsters, deities, hooligans, imps, and/or trees. Seriously, Link from the Legend of Zelda series simply cannot catch a break. Every incarnation has some grand evil to fight, leaving behind a simple yet fulfilling and potentially prosperous life. It makes you wonder, what could have been? To me, the answer to that question is clear. With such skill with a blade, a talent so great that he can easily cut through a target so unwieldy as grass in a single swipe, Link, barring calamity, would have certainly become Hyrule's premier landscaper. But which Link is the most cut out for the task? Who would prosper in this field? That is what we must determine today, as we discover which Link would be the best landscaper. We have 7 different iterations of Link to put to the test today to see how lucrative they make the profession of landscaping for themselves. In order to do that, we'll have each Link cut some local grass for a set amount of time and see how many rupees the activity grants them. We can then obviously assume that whichever Link earns the most rupees in the allotted time would in fact be the best landscaper. Or at least the best at monetizing his landscaping prowess, which is basically the same thing, right? Oh, one last thing to point out. Since our thought experiment here is based on the scenario of Link becoming a landscaper instead of becoming a hero and saving Hyrule, each Link will be forced to work with grass fairly close to the start of their respective games. So let us start with our first Link, the one from Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time Link hails from Kokiri Forest, a peaceful settlement which happens to be quite lush. That being said, most of the grass around the village is fairly well kept, leaving little in the way of opportunities for an up-and-coming landscaper to secure a contract. Luckily, there is a residence that, yes, has already hired a landscaper, but this landscaper is hopelessly incompetent. This gives Link the chance to prove himself and potentially secure employment. There's not much grass in front of Saria's house, but it grows back immediately upon entering and exiting the house, which means if Link secures this gig, he'll be set for life. No pressure. Alright, 5 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Ultimately, after 5 minutes of laboring, Link acquired 28 rupees. Extrapolating that out to an hour would put Ocarina of Time Link at an hourly wage of 336 rupees. If we assume full-time employment of 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, that would put Link's yearly earnings at 698,880 rupees. Which seems pretty good, but not so fast. Maybe this Link can do better in Majora's Mask. Technically, the Link in Majora's Mask is the same Link present in Ocarina of Time, but location can be very important to the success of a business. Perhaps Link will be able to increase his earnings after expanding his business out of the Kokiri Forest. Alright, 1 minute on the clock. Let's go. The grass in this area is certainly weird. It's not every day that the floor you're tending to gets up and starts dancing around. But in 1 minute, Link is able to cut down all the grass leading up to this perilous drop, which he's obviously not going to just leap down. Sure, his horse was stolen, but in only a minute he's earned a whopping 22 rupees. That would equate to a wage of 1,320 rupees an hour. Now, if we assume he's working full-time, that's 2,745,600 rupees a year. More than enough to buy a new horse, I think, so let's not fall to our deaths and just be happy with this. Wind Waker Link hails from Outset Island, a peaceful settlement which happens to be quite lush. That being said, the money to be made here is not in slicing up the jungle, but rather in tending to this man's lawn. It's lush, full of rupees, and just like Saria's lawn, grows back incredibly fast, leading to some great job security. But will it make this Link a millionaire? Time to find out. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Wind Waker Link was able to earn 49 rupees in 5 minutes. That translates to an hourly wage of 588 rupees an hour. If we assume he's working full-time, that would mean he's earning 1,223,040 rupees annually. So not quite Majora's Mask money, but certainly respectable. But what about a Link that won't be violating child labor laws? Twilight Princess Link hails from Ordon Village, a peaceful settlement which happens to be quite lush. Now, there isn't much grass to be taken care of in town, but the forest is certainly a bit overgrown, and this oil salesman could certainly use for his establishment to get some added curb appeal in the form of a manicured lawn. So, 5 minutes on the clock, let's go. You know, considering how this Link enjoys the unprecedented ability to run while swinging his sword simultaneously, I'll be honest, I expected more from him. But alas, he only managed to earn 29 rupees in his 5 minutes. That gives him an hourly rate of 348 rupees an hour, leading to an annual salary for full-time work of 723,840 rupees, just barely edging out Ocarina of Time Link to avoid last place. Man, I really thought pivoting away from child labor would improve the bottom line, but hey, maybe Twilight Princess Link is just uniquely unsuited for this line of work. Skyward Sword Link, on the other hand, I have high hopes for. There's not much grass to maintain in Skyloft, but I did manage to find some roadside trimming for Skyward Sword Link to take on for the city. It's always nice to secure a government contract, very stable. But is it lucrative? 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Man, I am glad this is the last Wii game we're doing. I certainly didn't expect to be doing manual labor myself when I set out to investigate this pressing question. Tired arms aside, Skyward Sword Link only earned 27 rupees in 5 minutes. That gives him our worst hourly wage yet at 324 rupees an hour. If we assume he'll be working at that rate full time, he'd earn 673,920 rupees a year, the lowest annual earnings yet. So, best of luck to you, Skyward Sword Link. My advice, don't quit your day job. The military will probably pay you better than this. Hopefully. But forget about that recruit. It's time to evaluate a 117-year-old military veteran. Sure, Breath of the Wild Link is well past retirement age, but a vocation like landscaping that keeps him outdoors, active, and on his feet may be just what the doctor ordered. But will it pay well? Let's find out. There's a lot of grass to cut in this Hyrule, but the area around Fort Tateno is pretty conveniently located, and I think seems quite promising. Alright, 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go. So, after 5 minutes of labor, Link, didn't earn a single rupee. That's not exactly ideal if he's planning to make this his profession, but all hope is not lost, because in the course of Link's landscaping, he collected 13 bundles of Hylian rice, which sell for 3 rupees apiece, 13 restless crickets, which sell for 2 rupees each, and 3 fairies, which can be sold for a measly 2 rupees per fairy? Seriously? In any case, add all that up, and Breath of the Wild Link actually earned 71 rupees in 5 minutes. That translates to 852 rupees an hour, and if we assume full-time work, 1,772,160 rupees a year. The second most any Link has been able to earn. But this Link, just like Ocarina of Time's Link, stars in a second game, where perhaps he's further refined his trade. Now, you'd think the big game changer in terms of landscaping and Tears of the Kingdom would be mechanization. That is, not what I found to be the case. So yeah, no lawnmowers. But instead, Link's fuse ability allows him to attach a polearm to the end of a sword, greatly increasing the size of his swings. But can such a technological leap really make that much of a difference? Let's find out. Once again, in the fields near Fort Atena. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go. So, once again, no rupees directly emerged from the grass, but Link does again walk away with some sellable goods. Namely, 17 restless crickets and 33 bundles of Hylian rice, which per unit sell for the same amount as they did in Breath of the Wild. That in total nets him 133 rupees for 5 minutes of work, which would equate to 1,596 rupees per hour. That being the case, if he were to go full-time, he could expect to earn 3,319,680 rupees a year. That is enough rupees to buy 6,639 diamonds, 10,374 sets of Hylian armor, 1,106 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes, or a remarkable 663,936 ring garlands from Kakariko Village. Easily putting Tears of the Kingdom Link at the top of the list, making him officially the greatest Link of them all in terms of landscaping prowess. So there you have it. If there's one Link that should definitely quit the whole saving the world thing to settle down in landscape instead, it is Link from Tears of the Kingdom. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely check out my other Zelda videos on this channel, like this one where I explain why the Lightning Temple is the best dungeon in Tears of the Kingdom, or my no jump or glide challenges on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Or if you happen to like Let's Play content, I am currently playing through Ocarina of Time for the very first time on my Let's Play channel, and have previously played through Link's Awakening on Switch over there. If you like what you saw today, and want to make sure you see my future uploads, maybe consider subscribing, or perhaps signing up for my email list in the description below to avoid being reliant on YouTube's whims for knowing when I upload. Additionally, if you like tabletop RPGs, consider checking out a lighthearted, streamlined one I designed, Time Travel Entertainment Incorporated, sold by Button Shy Games. Oh, and of course, thank you to my patrons who got to see this video a whole day early thanks to their support, and especially thank you to my $15 tier patron, Ashburn Says. But anyways guys, until next time, I have been CMeeCraft, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.